My girlfriend told me I was easy to manage and that she'd lowered her standards when she chose me. I agreed, then sold the house while she was at a wellness retreat. I'm Blake, 45, tech engineer in Austin. Yesterday morning, I was working from home on a call with my team muted. Addison was in the bedroom, door half open, on FaceTime with her best friend Jade. Their voices carried. Addison had her on speaker. "How's paradise life?" Jade's voice loud and clear. Addison laughed. "It's fine, easy. Blake is low maintenance." Low maintenance meaning boring. A pause, then, "Well, I settled with Blake because he's easy to manage and he pays for everything. At my age, that's stability." My fingers stopped moving on the keyboard. "Girl, you're smart," Jade said. "Romance is for your 20s. Exactly. I lowered my standards, sure, but I raised my quality of life. We've been together 4 years, living together for 2. The house, Tesla, Amex cards, all in my name. Meanwhile, she contributes maybe $400 monthly for groceries. The rest of her creative consulting income goes toward maintaining her 47,000 follower Instagram aesthetic. Spa treatments, designer athleisure, content creation trips. I pay for everything else. I never minded. I thought I was just being a good partner. Apparently, she sees it differently. That evening, over wine I'd bought, she said it again, this time to my face. "Don't forget I lowered my standards when I chose you. I'm not getting any younger and we both know this is supposed to be practical, so don't expect too much." Like she was reminding me to take out the recycling. "You're right," I said. She looked surprised. "Really?" "Absolutely. You deserve someone who meets your standards." She smiled, satisfied, and went back to scrolling through her phone like nothing happened. For 3 days I stayed perfectly calm. Made coffee, went to work, kissed her cheek. Inside, something had crystallized. I started making my own plan. So when she announced she'd booked a 5-day wellness retreat in Sedona, $3,200 for energetic realignment, I didn't even ask questions. I just said it sounded wonderful. She looked skeptical for a second, then mostly relieved I didn't push. The morning she left, I kissed her goodbye, watched the Tesla disappear down the street. Then I made phone calls, moving company, storage facility, lawyer who confirmed everything was in my name and that what I was about to do was fully within my rights. I worked methodically, canceled her supplementary Amex, changed passwords, Netflix, iCloud, Ring doorbell, everything she had access to. Called Tesla, removed her from authorized drivers, reported key fob lost. Movers arrived next day. Packed her things carefully, clothes, ring light, camera equipment, vitamins, self-help books titled things like The Goddess Within. Everything neatly sorted into labeled boxes. Everything went into a climate-controlled storage unit, 3 months paid in advance. I taped a note to the storage unit door: "Take your time to decide what matters. Unit paid through June 15th. Text me when you need access code to open the unit. Otherwise, don't contact me." The house sold in a week. Not surprising, given how insane the market is right now. I'd quietly listed it the day after I overheard her conversation. A young family, cash offer, close in 30 days. I also found a downtown loft. 1 bedroom, industrial windows, minimal. Exactly the kind of place Addison would hate, which is why I wanted it, completely mine. Day 4 of her retreat, changed the locks. Day 5, finally moved out. I check her social media occasionally. She's currently posting sunrise meditation photos, talking about transformation. She has no idea what's waiting for her when she comes back. Her flight lands at 4 p.m. tomorrow. The storage unit has her things. My lawyer's contact info is in the note I left. Police confirmed it's civil, everything's in my name. I'm in my new loft now, surrounded with furniture I chose myself, drinking coffee, watching the city through floor-to-ceiling windows. My restored Triumph motorcycle is in the garage downstairs. For the first time in 4 years, I feel light. Her flight lands in 8 hours. Update 1. So she found out 90 minutes after landing. Her Amex declined at airport parking. She couldn't even get her car out of long-term parking. Jade had to drive all the way to pay that for her. Addison drove them both back to the house. She called me from Jade's phone. I'd blocked her number. I let it go to voicemail. "Blake, what's going on? My cards aren't working and I can't get into the house. This isn't funny." I deleted it. She sat in the Tesla in the driveway for an hour before the neighbor told her she'd seen moving trucks. Then she drove to my office. I work in a glass-walled tech space downtown. She couldn't get past security without a badge. Carter, our former Marine security guard, doesn't do drama. I watched through the window as she argued with him. She showed him photos of us, proof we were together. He shook his head, pointed to the sign in sheet. She waited in the lobby 2 hours. My coworker Priya texted updates. She's crying now. Getting loud. Carter asked her to leave. That evening she found the storage unit. My lawyer got a voicemail. This is insane. This is illegal. You can't throw someone out. I live there. I have rights. I'll sue. This is financial abuse. Patricia, my lawyer, sent one email. Ms. Torres, you have no legal claim to the property, vehicles, or accounts. Mr. Hayes has provided all personal belongings in accessible storage, paid through mid-June. Seek independent counsel if you have questions. This matter is closed. 40 minutes later, Addison called again from Jade's phone. I answered this time. Blake. Her voice was different, smaller. Addison. Why are you doing this? You said you lowered your standards for me. I'm giving you the opportunity to raise them again. That's not, she stammered. I didn't mean it like that. You said it twice, once to Jade, once to me. Silence. Then you were listening. I was in the house. You weren't whispering, and I'm not deaf. Blake, please, we can talk about this face to face. No, there's nothing to say. You were with me for stability, not love. That much is clear. That's not fair. I do love you. The words felt rehearsed. Do you know what I'm working on right now at work? I asked. Pause. Tech stuff. Do you know my middle name, my favorite book, what happened to my dad? Longer pause. You don't, because you never asked. In 4 years, you never once asked about my life beyond what it could give you. I heard her breathing change. You posted 847 photos this year. I'm in 23 of them. 6 show my face. The rest are my hands holding coffee cups or the back of my head. You didn't want a partner. You wanted a prop. I treated you well. You treated me like a resource. Everyone vents to friends. You said it to my face. I lowered my standards when I chose you, while drinking wine I bought. She made a sound between a laugh and sob. You're throwing away 4 years over one comment. No. I'm ending 4 years because of what that comment revealed, which is that you never saw me. You saw a function, a bill payer. That's not true. Then tell me something real about me, anything I actually care about. Silence stretched between us. I have nowhere to go, she said finally. You have your parents. I'm 30 years old, Blake. Then find somewhere else. You're a grown woman with 47,000 followers. Monetize it. The brand is lifestyle. It's my livelihood, my income. I need to maintain the illusion. She didn't have an answer for that. Your things are in Unit 237. Code is 804. Storage paid through June 15th. Blake, I hope you find what you're looking for, but it was never going to be me. I hung up. She tried calling 6 times. I turned my phone off. 3 days later, her mother called. You've humiliated my daughter. She's devastated. She screamed into the phone. I'm sorry she's upset, I said flatly. You abandoned her with no warning. I got tired of being told I wasn't good enough. She never said that. She did multiple times. You eavesdropped on a private conversation. I was in my own home. She was loud. We went in circles like that for another minute, then her voice went cold. She's here with us, crying herself to sleep, unable to eat. You've broken her. She'll recover. You're heartless. I'm done. There's a difference. She hung up. That evening, Jade posted an Instagram post. Photo of Addison, face half hidden on her parents' porch. When you realize some people can't handle a strong woman who knows her worth. 3,000 likes in an hour. Comments. Girl, you deserve better. Men are trash. A few pushed back. Didn't he pay for everything, though? Jade deleted those. The next morning, a LinkedIn message from Rebecca Morrison, someone I didn't know. Hi, Blake. This is random, but I dated Addison's ex Matthew. I saw what's happening and think you should know she did the same thing to him. Coffee sometime. Rebecca, something about the message felt genuine, not performative. I replied, coffee works. When? We met at a cafe near the Capitol. Rebecca was my age, professional, nervous. Thanks for meeting me, she said. I wasn't sure if I should reach out. What's this about? I dated Matthew for 2 years, Addison's ex, the finance guy she was with before you. I remembered him vaguely. Addison did mention him a few times. She did the same thing to him, almost exactly. My stomach dropped. Moved in after a year, positioned herself as his partner while he paid for everything. Built her Instagram off his lifestyle, his lake house, his boat. When he questioned the balance, she pivoted to victim mode, told everyone he was controlling. Rebecca showed me screenshots, posts from 5 years ago, Addison in similar poses, different backdrop, different barely visible man in the background. Matthew was destroyed, took him 3 years to recover. I took time studying the screenshots before asking, "Why are you telling me?" "Because I saw what she's posting about you. I recognized the pattern. I thought you should know you're not crazy. She's done this before." She showed me one more thing, Addison's dating profile, already active, bio, healing from narcissistic abuse, looking for someone emotionally mature and financially stable. Photo I'd taken of her at Big Bend, cropped so I wasn't visible. I laughed, bitter. "She's practiced," Rebecca said gently. "Be careful." We finished our coffee. I thanked her, walked back with a strange mix of validation and sadness. That night, Addison's mom, Diane, called again. She lost a major partnership. A supplement company terminated her contract. "I'm sorry to hear that." "No, you're not. You're destroying her career. This happened because of you." "I haven't said a word publicly." People talk. Someone sent the company screenshots of old posts where she gave advice about training men to provide. They said it doesn't align with brand values. That's between her and them. You could help, make a statement, say it was mutual. No, because it wasn't mutual. "You're cold, Blake." "Maybe, or maybe I'm done being warm for someone who saw me as a utility." She hung up. 2 days later, Jade posted again. A thread about toxic men who use money as control. One of my colleagues responded, "Interesting perspective from someone whose best friend lived rent-free for years, just saying." The thread erupted quickly. That weekend, I took the Triumph to Hamilton Pool, sat by the water, phone off. For the first time in 4 years, I felt like myself. I didn't check her Instagram, didn't ask mutual friends, didn't engage. I just moved forward. Update 2: I ran into Diane at Trader Joe's 3 weeks after I posted, frozen section. She appeared at the aisle's end like an apparition in linen. "Blake." "Diane." She looked tired, older. "How are you?" she asked quietly. "Fine, you." She glanced at my basket, single-serving meals, local IPA, fresh basil. "Living alone suits you." "It does." "Addison moved out last week, studio in Riverside, teaching Pilates now." "That's good." Diane studied me. "You really don't care, do you?" "I care that she's okay. I don't care to be involved." "Fair." She adjusted her bag. "I think I understand now what happened." I raised my eyebrows. "Yeah. She came home talking about how you'd stolen her life. But then I looked at all these things she brought, boxes of designer pieces, electronics, equipment worth more than my car." Diane paused. I asked how she afforded it. She said gifts, collaborations, investments. I asked if you complained. She said no, that you wanted her to have nice things. I did. But you didn't want her, you wanted the version that loved you back. The freezer section hummed around us. "I wanted a partner," I said quietly. "Someone who saw me as more than a resource." Diane nodded. "She's my daughter, so I'll always love her. But she's also the girl who threw a tantrum at 16 because her party wasn't at the country club. We taught her that love looks like luxury. You can't blame yourself for her choices." "Can't I?" She smiled sadly. "She sent me something last week, a blog post, different from her usual content, more honest, about realizing she'd built her identity around perceptions, that she'd been performing so long she forgot how to just be." Something shifted in my chest. Did she mean it? I think so, for the first time in years. We stood there, two people who'd orbited the same difficult woman. "I should go," I said. "Blake, thank you for not destroying her publicly. You could have." "I never wanted to destroy her, just wanted to be free." She walked away. Later, curiosity got me. I found Addison's Instagram, different now, sparser, less curated. Recent post, her hands holding a library book, no rings, no manicure. Caption: "I used to think vulnerability was weakness. I built walls made of aesthetics. I'm learning that real strength is admitting when you're wrong, when you've hurt people, when you've been performing instead of living. I'm not asking forgiveness, just trying to grow." Comments were surprisingly kind. I closed the app. 2 months passed. Work, gym, motorcycle rides. I started cooking again, remembering I used to enjoy it. Went on a few dates. Coffee, conversation, nothing serious yet, just learning what it felt like to be seen. Then one day came the voicemail. Unknown number. Addison's voice. Blake, don't delete this. I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted to say I'm sorry, really sorry, for using you, for not seeing you. I'm seeing a therapist. She asked me to list everything I loved about you, and I couldn't. Not personality traits, just what you provided. How you made me feel safe while I chased shallow things. I don't expect forgiveness, but you deserve to hear that I finally understand what I did, what I lost. I hope you're happy, Blake. Actually happy. You deserve that. The message ended. I played it twice, listening for manipulation. But it just sounded like someone who'd stopped performing. I didn't call back. 3 weeks later, I met Emily, yoga instructor. We bumped into each other at a coffee shop. She spilled matcha on my shirt, insisted on paying for dry cleaning. Or you could just buy me another coffee, she laughed. Significantly cheaper, deal. We talked an hour. She'd moved from California, starting over after her own complicated relationship. She asked what I did and actually listened, asked follow-ups, wanted to know about the motorcycle favorite trails, what I was reading. Your turn, what brought you to Austin? I needed to remember who I was before I became someone's accessory. The phrasing stopped me. That's specific. Bad marriage. He didn't hit me or cheat, but he slowly erased me, made everything about him. When I left, I realized I'd spent 5 years as a supporting character. I know that feeling. Yeah, I told her, not everything, enough. That's actually kind of brilliant, Emily said. Surgical or cold? No, cold would have been making her life hell. You just stopped participating in your own erasure. When the check came, she grabbed it. My spill, my coffee. Next one's on me. There's going to be a next one. If you want. She smiled. Yeah, I want. We went hiking the following weekend. She met me at the trailhead, brought her own water, carried her own pack. At the summit, she asked, "Are you over her?" I thought about it. I don't think about her much. When I do, it's less about her and more about what I learned, about recognizing when you're being used. That's honest. I like honest. 3 months in, Emily mentioned seeing Addison's Instagram. She's doing this reinvention thing, teaching Pilates, volunteering at a shelter, really raw posts about vanity and shame. Good for her, I said and meant it. You're not curious. Not really, that's her journey. I hope she makes it, but it's not mine to witness. Emily studied me. You're a good man, Blake Hayes. I'm a work in progress. Aren't we all? Well, and that might be exactly the thing I need to hear. Final update. 6 months later, I received a wedding invitation. Matthew, Addison's ex, was marrying Rebecca. The invitation was simple, handwritten. We're getting married at our favorite brewery next month. Rebecca told me she reached out to you last year. If you're free, we'd love to have you there. No pressure. Matthew and Rebecca, I almost declined. Then Emily read it over my shoulder. We should go. We. Solidarity. Plus, I'm curious about the guy who survived the same storm you did. The reception was barely a reception. 30 people, food trucks, a playlist. Matthew and Rebecca greeted us warmly, and after some small talk, we grabbed drinks and found a quieter spot. That's when Matthew brought it up. So, did you hear what happened to Addison? I tensed slightly. No, I haven't kept up. Matthew and Rebecca exchanged a look. She met someone about 8 months ago, Rebecca said carefully. Guy named Derek, real estate investor or so he claimed. Drove a Porsche, wore nice suits, talked about his properties in Colorado. Let me guess, Emily said. Yeah, Matthew nodded. She moved in with him after 6 weeks. Started posting about their life together, luxury lifestyle, expensive dinners, weekend trips to Aspen. Full influencer comeback mode. Then what happened? I asked. Turns out Derek was running a long con, Rebecca continued. The Porsche was leased under a fake LLC. The properties didn't exist. He was living off credit card advances and dating multiple women simultaneously, getting them to invest in his various ventures. My stomach dropped. Addison invested everything she had saved. One of our mutual friends still follows her private account. She posted about it there. He convinced her they were buying a rental property together, had fake documents, the whole thing. When she tried to access the property records, he vanished, blocked her on everything, Turns out Derek wasn't even his real name. Jesus, I said. She filed a police report, Matthew added. But he's probably in another state doing it to someone else by now. These guys are professionals. We stood there in silence for a moment. That's why she changed, Rebecca said quietly. Why she went to therapy, started that honest blog content. It wasn't guilt over you and Matthew. It was finally understanding what it felt like to be on the other side. To invest everything, emotion, money, trust, into someone who only saw you as a resource. Emily squeezed my hand. Do you think she actually learned something? I asked. Matthew considered this. From what we've heard through friends, she's working 2 jobs now, paid off her debts, volunteers at that women's shelter regularly. She's trying. Good for her, I said, and found I meant it. Not with satisfaction at her suffering, but genuine hope that she'd found a different path. Karma's real, Matthew said, raising his beer. But I'm glad we all made it out. To making it out, Rebecca echoed. We clinked glasses. The rest of the evening was lighter. Stories, laughter, Emily fitting in seamlessly. Driving home later, she asked, how do you feel about what happened to Addison? Honestly, sad, not vindicated or satisfied, just sad that it took her getting hurt the same way to understand. That's very evolved of you. I don't know about evolved. Maybe just tired of carrying anger. That's fair. We drove in comfortable silence. You know what's weird, I said. A year ago, hearing that would have wrecked me, would have made me doubt everything, but now it just feels like confirmation that leaving was right, not because she's suffering, but because she was never capable of being what I needed. And now I have someone who sees me, actually sees me. Emily smiled. Yeah, you do. Now it's October, a year since everything changed. I'm on my balcony, coffee beside me, watching the city wake up. Emily's inside, still asleep. We're adopting a rescue dog next week, a senior lab mix named Henry who needs a quieter home. The Triumph runs beautifully. I take it out most weekends, sometimes alone, sometimes with Emily behind me. I got promoted at work. My team respects me. I respect myself. I don't think about Addison much anymore. When I do, I hope she's genuinely rebuilding, that she learned what she needed to learn, that she finds peace. But that's her story now, not mine. I learned what love isn't. It isn't transactions or management or beautiful performances for an audience. Love is Emily making terrible puns while we cook. Love is her insisting we split everything because she believes in partnership. Love is asking about each other's days and remembering the answers. Love is ordinary, unglamorous, real, not aesthetic, not content, not a performance. Just 2 people seeing each other clearly, choosing to stay. I finish my coffee. Sun's up now. Inside, Emily stirs. She'll pad out here in my old t-shirt, steal the last of my coffee, suggest we take the bike out to scout dog-friendly parks for Henry. I'll say yes. We'll go. We'll be happy, not because of what we have or how it looks to anyone else, just because we're here and we're real and we finally know the difference. That's enough. That's everything.